It's Gingey versus Sp4ghet. We are still in the moving, so we've got lots left to look forward to. Oh, this is round 8, though. Gingey is barely alive. But he is alive. He's got 2 rounds left to turn this around. You can never feel too comfortable with the multis this high. I thought this might be a Rwanda or a Kenya. Probably a Kenya. Yeah, we've got the snorkel. Gingey looks like he might insta-send this. Yeah, I think he's going to. Sp4ghet gonna move, look for a county, which is certainly what I would be doing. But Gingey sends north of Nairobi with no further information. Does it say anything there? I don't see anything. He's also clicked Nairobi, though. So Sp4ghet will survive. Will Gingey survive? That's the question. I'm not sure he will. It's close. No, that's game. Yep. Sp4ghet outlasts Gingey in the moving game. Again, I think Sp4ghet probably feels a lot more comfortable in moving than Gingey does. But he takes game number 1. Very nicely played from Sp4ghet right there. We get RC Feneb. Oh, that's huge. I haven't even really looked at the lineup, but there's lots of good stuff coming right up, so do not go anywhere. I don't know how I'm going to change the YouTube stream title. I have to figure that out. All right, no move. Sp4ghet takes game 1. We have Misiones guess from Gingey, which I think is correct. We have... It's a weird black sign back is interesting, but it does look more like Misiones than Brazil to me. And that is indeed where it is. Gingey just a little bit closer. But a nice start for him, as Bloom would say. Good for the mental. Although honestly, if it was me, I'm not sure how much getting 200 points in round 1 would actually help me mentally, but you know, it's better than nothing. There is some info here. I know that Gingey had the sign on his screen. They're probably scanning for road. Yeah, it said Pondo. I don't know where Pondo is, though. Is it the 8? He keeps panning. I can't see it. But there is definitely a road number here. It looks like they're both on it. Yep. Oh, Pondo's right there near Montevideo, so there will be virtually no damage dealt in this one, I would imagine. Sp4ghet trying to 5k, and he might have it. We'll see. See if we get that brand new 5k jump scare. He doesn't. Okay, they were both actually at the same intersection. Ends up just being down one Pondo. 3s in chat. As we move to round 3. And both players, again, I didn't look at the standings before coming into this, and I probably should have, but I'm not really sure where both players are in the standings. I think both of them are kind of like mid-table at the moment, so I think this is pretty important for both of them. Feeling like they need to, you know, stay on pace with the pack. We have an India here. Gingey's in Rajasthan, which definitely would make sense. It looks like Sp4ghet agrees. Sort of dryish landscape with some hills. I mean, it definitely would work for Rajasthan. So I like the guesses from both. We shall see. And it is Rajasthan, a little more inland, but same idea. Very tightly contested, no moving game so far. Not much to separate the two. Round 4. Looks like the US. Western. I like the Wyoming, although I could also see it being... Well, I could see a fair few things here. I could see Montana, I could see Idaho, I could even see like a weird California almost, but it's probably not that far west. Yeah, I do probably prefer like a Wyoming or a Utah. I like Utah a lot. Colorado maybe a little less so, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'm no expert. So we'll see. Closer, New Mexico. Okay, well, I was wrong about it being more west, but New Mexico does work. Alrighty. Again, very little to separate them. There were definitely some more... There was more of an opportunity there to gain points, but pretty tough round. Back in North America here. Looks like the US again. A little different here. It's more urban. A lot greener, and the architecture is definitely different. It looks like we don't have front plates on the cars, which would point us towards the south. Probably. I mean, there are, of course, a few states that don't have front plates, but most of the southern states are like that. Sp4ghet is hedging a little bit more north here. Tennessee, Kentucky also work for states that don't have front plates. But their guesses are pretty different. Very specific guess from Gingey down in southwestern Mississippi. We shall see. Oh, beautiful guess from Gingey. That is almost game. It's actually might be game. It is. Wow. Just that one round. Beautiful guess from Gingey. He really got the vibe there. To me, it didn't seem like obviously super south like that, like Mississippi, Louisiana. So good on Gingey for committing there. Making a beautiful guess. Very strong U.S. player, being from the U.S., but yeah, that's very, very well done. And we will go to our second NMPZ of the day. We are getting treated to some good stuff here. Starting again in the U.S. We've had a lot of U.S. so far. At least certainly in this match. Gingey on the Indiana-Ohio border. It's basically where Sp4ghet is as well. With the slight hills in the corn, I definitely could see it. I think it's a very reasonable place to be. Could be something like New York, Pennsylvania. Could easily also be Wisconsin or Illinois or something like that. But, wow. Was it West Virginia or Virginia? One of the two. Interesting. That is not where I would have been. I would have been a lot closer to them, so... Definitely an unusual first round there. Looks like Southern Argentina. I think both players will get that vibe at least. The question is, where? Because there are lots of areas in Southern Argentina that look really similar to each other. With this little vegetation, you probably get pushed a little bit more towards the south. Although Gingey is moving kind of progressively north. And Sp4ghet is also in Chubut. Yeah, Chubut could definitely work. Santa Cruz could work. Rio Negro could work. I don't know. It's a tough round. Southern Arge is a really tough area because of how big it is and how similar a lot of it can look. Gingey keeps kind of inching his pin more towards the north. Sp4ghet is considering Peru. Oh boy. I mean, I could see it. It's a risk, but it's not impossible that it could be there. But it's just nuke in. So, Gingey was right to keep moving a little more north. I wonder which of these players feels more confident in MPZ. Probably Gingey. I think he plays a lot of this. He's a very good just kind of vibe guesser, landscape guesser, so... I think he feels pretty at home playing NMPZ. Certainly more so than moving. Again, he very quickly zooms on these rounds, whereas Sp4ghet often takes his time, a little bit more calculated, or a little bit more unsure. Hard to say which, but yeah, Gingey in Zacatecas, he was on the U.S. border to start, but he's moved down a bit more. Definitely does look like Mexico. I didn't quite catch where Sp4ghet's pin was. I think it was a similar area. Maybe a bit more north, if anything, Durango, but not too sure. But both players just kind of thinking here. Not moving their pins, but not sending their guesses either. He is in Durango, but again, the guesses are pretty similar here. We'll see whose is better. San Luis Potosí, but another really nice guess from Gingey so far, just kind of wearing Sp4ghet down in this NMBZ. But all it takes is one round. We saw Zigzag with that win on that Mexico round. It was his first one round, and he won the match on it. Instant zoom into manga style from Gingey here, which does make sense. I think, I don't know, are the chevrons, I guess the chevrons maybe are distinctly Kazakhstan, but I worry about something like Oman on something like this, because the landscapes down here versus some of the Middle East can look deceptively similar, but both players are in manga style, so I would assume we won't see a lot of damage dealt here. I do like the guess. If it is Kazakhstan, it is presumably down here, with just how dry it looks. So we'll see. Wow, they're both on the road. Can't even see the road, but it's in there somewhere. Learn your Kazakhstan, folks. It does wonders. I say that having not learned my Kazakhstan, I'm just saying. If they hadn't, they would have been in trouble. Again, Gingey just with the insta-zoom. Started in France, now is in Italy. Again, Sp4ghet just kind of thinking a little more, and he's in the US. So this will likely end the game if both players stick to their guns here. I wonder which I like better here. I don't know, actually. Wow, I mean, I understand the split. Both continents seem possible. Wow, I don't know. This is tricky. If anything, maybe I like Europe a little better, but I have no idea. Gingey sends Venice, which is interesting because it's hilly, and he sent in a pretty flat area, but either way. It's going to be one continent or the other, so presumably whoever's in the right continent is going to win here. Sp4ghet looks like he's going to stick with the US, but he doesn't look too confident about it. And it is Europe, but it's kind of far. It is going to be enough, though. Yep. Bulgaria it was, so unfortunate for Sp4ghet. Again, a really, really tough round. Definitely understand going in North America there, but very nicely done.